Okay. All right, there we go. Welcome back to Real Estate Mindset. I have a very special live dedicated to you guys today. On Sunday morning, we have breaking news as Redfin is now indicating price decline and price drops on a nationwide average happening with existing houses. We already know what's going on with new homes, but I wanted to first, guys, before I jump into this data and we'll go right into it, we'll be very fast today. I wanted to introduce you guys to Jungle Book, or rather Daniel, who is a big member of our Discord community. I absolutely love our community. I love how much you guys grow. He prayed for the podcast before we even hit record. My boy prayed for me. So Jungle, it's nice to have you here. I want to get a little bit of his reactions, Daniel's reactions, a normal viewer on all this thing. But before I begin, Daniel, can you tell the viewers, why you're here? Are you, is the community helping you? Are you growing? Are you feeling empowered? What are you gaining from these videos?
Yeah. So I'm Daniel. I'm 36 years old. I live in San Luis Obispo, California. I am a single dad. I have a beautiful 2-year-old boy. I've been going through a divorce for the last 18 months. So those of you who have gone through a divorce know the troubles, the tribulation, and the struggle that comes along with it, both financial, physical, and emotional. What I can say about where I'm at real estate and life-wise, we had a home that we had purchased in Oceano, California in 2006. We bought it for $360,000. Great time to buy. The market, the interest rates were about 3.6%. Sold recently in the divorce, remodeled everything top to bottom. It was brand spanking new inside. Outside, needed a little bit of work, but inside was brand new. Sold it for $650, all cash offer. Some guy from Seattle, swooped in investor, decided to do an exchange. What is it, Travis? What's the number?
1031 exchange.
1031 exchange. So he sold his place in Seattle, did a 1031 exchange, bought this place down in Oceano for $650 cash offer. Didn't bat an eye. Sold the home. So I'm now living in a 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment. Like Travis likes to explain a lot of times. Look, I've not been a renter in a long time. A long time.
Same.
Not only is it a wake-up call, but it relieves a little bit of stress, especially with having a
child. Why is that?
There are a few things, and they're all topics that we've been talking about here on Real Estate Mindset a lot. So property taxes are increasing, right? It's an extra finance I don't want to have to worry about right now. I don't have to deal with the maintenance, any work on my home. I'm one of those guys. I'm a blue collar worker. I work as a firefighter here in the state of California. If I need something done, I either go to YouTube University and I learn how to do it, or I just go out and I start doing it, and we'll see what happens along the way. So my goal is to take this equity, be able to invest it, which I'm doing. I'm investing it both in a high yield savings account, earning 5%. And if anybody wants to talk about a good high yield savings account, I will refer you. It is a great earnings. And it's liquid. I'm able to pull it at any time. So I'm looking to build my worth. If I can build my worth and build my liquid assets, and when I say liquid, I mean assets that are available to me immediately so that I can go buy a home, then that's winning. With the rest of my money, I've become a bank. I am loaning money to other people, believe it or not.
Don't say that. You're gonna have about 100 people that reach out to you for a loan right now.
Bro, I don't loan out money. This is to a very good friend who just needed the money because he has. Oh man, I'm gonna get crushed for this one. He owns several short-term real estate, single-family homes here on the Central Coast that do very well. and they had some stuff that popped up that he needed help with. And I said, you know what, dude, I'll help you out.
Okay.
So he's very trustworthy. He has the assets to be able to do it. He has the collateral. Most importantly, don't just loan out money. Make sure they have the collateral, because if they don't have the collateral and you loan the money, you can say goodbye to your money. See ya. So I'm here with the purpose of I'm trying to find an affordable house in an unaffordable housing market.
Yeah.
That's my goal. The median house. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, Daniel, let me ask you. So, what I mean. So to me, it's really important. You guys are growing. Some people watch these videos for entertainment or even to slam me. It's weird, but for me, I'm making the videos so that you grow. And
I love getting slammed. Bring it on.
No, I'm not going to do it, brother. I love you guys too much.
No, not from you. I want the viewers to slam me.
Oh, the viewers?
Yeah.
You'll get some. Don't worry about that. But Daniel, tell, how did the community, I'm not even saying me, but how did the community help you, progress your goals? Or even did it help you, did the community help you emotionally? I mean, can you explain the value of coming together?
For me, so it's funny. Your name, Real Estate Mindset, right? It's a mindset.
Yes.
Do you want to be a half or the glass is half full type of guy? Because I can tell you, my coffee,
I do.
It's full to the brim. So, by the way, shout out to Nobody Special Finance as I'm drinking my coffee doing a video. So, yeah, the Discord group has brought a lot of value. And the reason why is because it's allowed me to meet and talk with a lot of like-minded people who are, for example, our boy Raymond.
Yeah.
That dude is hustling.
He's a beast.
I don't care what you have to say about him. That guy is putting the sweat equity in order to make his value and his worth better.
Yeah.
He's taking a piece of crud home and he's turning it around by busting his butt. So what it's done for me is it's connected me with a lot of like-minded people who want to build value, want to improve one another, want to look at the real estate or the real estate values of what's going along across the nation and going, hey, what this guy's saying is not true. Look at the data. And what I can say is the people in the Discord group love the data. If you can go look at the numbers and you can go find the value of the information, a big common thread is many of us ask why. We are critical thinkers.
Mm-hmm.
You don't agree with everybody, but that's the value in it because it allows you to think in so many different perspectives. So that's what Discord has done for me. It's brought friendships and value to thinking and understanding that, hey, it's okay to be patient. It's okay to be patient, not just jump the gun because there's a house that just jumped on the market. So, and to give you an idea of where I'm at, there's a home that it's not even on the market yet. It has a sign out front. It's a piece of crap house. It looks
Daniel,
like.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, okay? Because this is something that a little bit caught me off guard. I wasn't born an influencer or making YouTube videos. I've only been doing videos for like 3 years. Do you find it like a little bit surprising how we're kind of, for being cautious on home ownership, do you find it shocking how much we're belittled for trying to have people slow down? There's overpriced houses, PE ratio, payment to income ratio, 2 years equity growth, no income growth, defaults going up in every category of debt. Yeah, conventional mortgage is still low, but why do you think society really belittles us? And think about that, for a second, because Daniel, listen, you're the one that's lending money to the investor now. You're a renter now, Daniel. The society says that you're a renter. You're not doing the right thing, even though you are. And sometimes society says that, me renting, I don't care about my family, right? I'm being a bad father, bad husband. So, but when we look at the reality and we stop and we control our emotions, Daniel, it's actually you that are in a great position. You're not the one that's trapped. The investors are now coming to you. The door bros. Daniel, can you help me? I'm suffering. Rent. property tax, homeowners insurance. Are you surprised a little bit, Daniel, on how polarizing talking about a housing market crash is?
No, I'm not surprised.
Why?
The only reason I'm not surprised is because when we look back in history, I was just talking to Obi right now. What's his name?
Charles or Brian
Charles.
or who?
I
Charles.
believe it's
Charles.
Charles. I was
Yeah.
talking with
O'Brien is
Charles.
Charles.
Yeah, and him and I don't always think alike, but I really value his opinion. And he had brought up how there's going to be a soft landing. Charles, shout out to you, dude. I love you, brother. What it ended up doing, he had brought up the issue of, hey, it's going to be a soft landing again. I typed into Google. It took me 30 seconds. Soft landing 2008. I found more than 15 different articles that said the exact same thing. Verbatim. I'm not making this up.
I know, but it's like, but we learned, but how did we not learn, dude? It's only like 12, like 14 years ago? That's my point. Like, I get it. People are foolish, right? But like back then, we didn't have YouTube. We didn't have these independent journalists. I mean, I feel like it's worse than last time as far as the awareness, Brian. I mean, I'm sorry, Daniel. The awareness, man. The awareness. It seems, it just doesn't seem there. I mean, it is surprising, but for the sake of time, man, I only have a little bit of your time. I want to jump into this real quick, okay? Do you want to finish up what you were saying, though? Did I interrupt you, or are you good? Do you want to finish your thought?
No, I would like to agree with you. I think it's so one of the biggest things is build your worth now, because if the data is not lying to us, it's, look, in California, we're seeing it. In California, we are seeing people getting laid off. The tech industry, it is not thriving. I don't know if it has to do with AI. By the way, Nobody Special Finance did I'm going to give a shameless plug, did a great series of videos on AI, and I highly recommend you go and watch it. But the tech industry is not thriving right now. And as you know, we have Silicon Valley. We have a lot of tech industry in California. One of the biggest things that we're really running into, and it's really an odd situation, is people want to say that investors are a small portion or a small percentage of what the real estate market is. But the reality is there's a lot of it that goes hidden. A lot of it goes hidden. Whether you're a person who's not a citizen and you're going through a third-party investor and it shows up as somebody else, shows up as an LLC, or you're an all-cash buyer coming from China because your real estate market is taking a crap. Guess what? Orange County, Irvine, LA, they're all known for being bought up by real estate investors from other countries. Both, we're talking from China, Russia, Ukraine. Yeah, it's crazy. So build, and the reason why I say it's important to build your personal wealth now is because what Travis hit on, if you are patient, if you can sit back and you can look at the overall picture and follow the numbers and follow the data, I think, I'm not a predictor, I cannot see into the future. I think we are due for a crash that we have not seen in our lifetime, because people are so far in debt that their homes are not worth the value they thought they were going to be, because real estate only goes up, right?
No,
then why,
that's not right.
Why are there 3 or 4 price cuts every time I see a home listed? Why are days on the market 30 to 45 days on the market now?
The pendulum is swinging, brother. Nothing lasts forever.
Right.
All right, let's get started. You good? Bro, God, man, I didn't know you had that in you. I didn't know what to expect. I've never talked to Daniel on the phone, you guys. We talk a lot on Discord, and he's just been really passionate about coming on to talk. And I'm like, dude, I just want you to come on. You know, I'm so proud of you guys. I'm so proud of you guys talking. You have no idea. Let me show you some tings, if I may. Let me show you some tings real quick, and I want to get your reaction here. And I know you don't have too much time, brother, and I know you got to go to church. But the first thing is okay. So the title of this video, half hour. Okay, I'll be fast.
Yeah,
the title of the video is is breaking home prices are falling. And I want you guys to make a note that this is, it looks like anyways, this is the start of home prices going down. Okay, breaking seasonality. And what I am hoping, and I'll show you guys when I pull up the median sales price graph, I'm hoping that we have a nominal price decline this year, and I'm going to show you guys what happened in 2022. But first, let's look at this. Median sales price this week on Redfin is $396,379. Can you see that okay? Should I zoom in? I have a.
If you zoom in a little bit, I can see it better. Yep.
Okay,
that's
I'm
great.
sorry, brother.
No, you're good.
Okay, I zoomed in too much. It threw me off. Okay, so take a look. Okay, so this week you guys are seeing here is 396,379. Okay, now I'm going to show you actually it's going down, but first I want you to look at this statement and I want you to understand that what you're about to read here, and I'm going to read to you, is foolish optimism, reckless data manipulation. I mean, the thing is these data providers and these editors, they're so financially biased. They make mistakes. And luckily for me, like I have one good thing, it's math. Like I'm really good in math and I can see some of these numbers. And I'm like, you guys did this wrong. So let me just read this. Okay. This says, okay, 396,379, just about $100 shy of last week's all-time high. Can you see that?
I can see it. Okay.
Let's go to last week's all-time high. Look at this. Okay. Where is it? Okay. So last week's all-time high, you see this? 397,000. Okay. 482. My brother. Okay. That's not $100. That's $1,103. We had a week over week, and this is 4-week rolling median. We had a week over week median sales price decline of $1,100. If we annualize that, and we don't have to, okay, but if we did annualize that, say we actually do go into recession, say we do have unemployment and people start figuring this out, and if we analyze that type of decline, you guys, that equals $57,000 a year, or rather 14% drop in 1 year. Now, obviously, I'm just annualizing it. But what I'm trying to explain to you guys is you can't trust these people. Like, even if this lady that wrote this, Danielle, says, you know what, I'm not going to be biased, she can't help herself. Look at this, $100 shy. That immediately is telling me not to worry about the fluctuations in price. But when I'm a citizen consumer and I'm looking at a data provider like a household name like Redfin, I want to be able to lean on them to get accurate information. I want to be able to lean on them. I want to be able to trust them because I don't know who to trust as a consumer, right? But we can't do that, Daniel. We have to triangulate. In fact, Zillow has median, I think, at 440,000. The discrepancies in median, the price bucket changes, the proprietary algorithms are complete. They're horse poo-poo, rather. They're horse poo-poo. I mean, geez Louise. But anyways, okay, we had a week over week home price decline of $1,100. Do you guys want to see what an $1,100 decline looks like week over week? You want to see it? You remember they don't show us the decline. Okay, let me zoom in on this. Okay, look at what they do. I have had a fight to explain this to people. Look at the trajectory. Okay, so it's that little dot right there. Let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, I just really want to make this point here. Okay, here we go. Okay, so you see that little dot where my arrow's at right now. Okay, that's last week. Okay, so from last week to this week, we had an $1,100 drop. 57,000 annualized. It should have a noticeable difference in the trajectory of that graph, and there is not one. And here's the thing that really frustrates me, Daniel. If it was an increase, like if equity went up and not down, you would see that thing skyrocketing. I have seen like $900 increases look like they were skyrocketing, but Redfin refuses to do that. In fact, again, going back to what they said, this is no emotion. Well, I am frustrated. Don't get me wrong there. I'm frustrated because I don't want good people to get hurt. If people are going to buy a house, at the very least, give them the right information, right? Like give them the proper analyzing of risk.
But well, and here's the thing.
I hate it.
Do we have to go back?
It says $100.
Do we have to go back to? Do we have to go back to third grade here? Because here's where my head goes. my head goes to. Do you remember the days when you're in algebra or you're in elementary math and you figure out the answer, right? You write it all down. You're excited. You're like, yeah, I got the answer. It works. It plugs in. But your teacher goes, wrong. You go, why is this wrong? Because you didn't show your work.
Yes, I remember.
Okay.
You got to show your work.
If this lady could at least, on her article, I don't know her. She may be a very nice lady.
Yeah, she may be.
But
good for her.
Numbers are numbers. You can't change numbers. You can't change data. You can't. Well, I mean, I think the Biden administration has shown otherwise, but you can't. Sorry, I brought politics in. You're welcome. So here's the problem, right? We're being presented with data. If you're going to say the number is this, it has increased 4%, right? Median value has increased 4.4%, right? Year over year is what they're saying on a 4-week average.
Yes, that it's up 4% year over year.
Yeah. So, okay, great. Show me the numbers. Show me how you did your math. If you can show me how you did your math, I might sit there and go, okay, she's got a point. But I'm looking at this and I'm going, dude, the math doesn't math.
It doesn't math, you know. And let me show you this. All right, I want to go back in history because of because of comments just like this, right? So this guy, I mean, automatically you see, you know, and I don't want to.
Hey, who blew me up? Who blew me up on the white background?
Huh? No, anyways, but I don't want to assume.
No, I just want to make a little joke here.
But you know, when I see comments like this, like, "Oh my God, how many times has the crash started in the past 3 years?" Well, I've been talking about this for 2 years, so let's talk about 2 years. But it's comments like this that I don't know, and I don't want to pick on people. So Mr. Nguyen, I'm not picking on you, but I don't know whether you're an investor, like some greedy, filthy rich investor that is just doesn't understand things, right? And you're just like laughing at people because you think you're better off than people. But look at your comment. You're treating people like trash. How's that a legacy you want to give back? Do you really want to give back? I mean, people won't remember you if you're not helping. Put yourself in an opportunity to help people, brother. But then the other part of me is I don't know, okay, if this person is just a consumer that's frustrated and confused. So it's hard for me to know who I'm talking to sometimes, right? And that's what I'm saying. I don't want to pick on people, but there are consumers that are in markets, Daniel, that they still have a little, way less, but they still have a tight market. Vital Signs was a huge member of our community, and he got burnt out. He's in Central California, you know, and he was discouraged. And I'm not mad at Vital. I wish he would stay and allow us to just show data, you know, make your own decision. But one thing we don't want to necessarily do, we don't want to push like consumers away. And that's why I don't know if he's a consumer. If he's a consumer, I love you, man. You know, if you're just some rich dude that's bullying people, kick rocks. But the thing is, I don't know. Either way, you're welcome here.
Well,
either way, you're welcome here. But here's the thing.
I would say actually there is some value to what's, I don't know how to pronounce this person's last name. I think that actually spells out when. I think it's Hui Wen, which makes me want to go Hui Wen. Okay. What is it good for? Anyway.
But Jungle, Daniel, hold on one second. Just for the sake of timing, sure. I just want to do this one thing real quick, okay? I want to show people this real quick, all right? Can you see this okay?
I can.
Okay. So here's median sales price right now. Okay. Again, you see this trajectory from here. Okay, let me turn my pen on. I'm so sorry, brother. And I'm so sorry for interrupting you. I just know I only have a little time. From here to here, again, we have no decline. And here's what I want to do, Daniel. Remember what happened in 2022. So here was the start, if you will. You can actually say right here was the start of the crash because right here was QT. Okay, that was quantitative tightening. But right here, okay, you see that red line right here to right here, following that red line, was the fastest price drop in history. Right there. I'm going to circle that again. Okay. And so that was the first start. And so the problem is, you know, that's our warning. First of all, we had a warning in 2006 as well. This is our 2022 warning. We had the fastest price decline, but what happened is the market rebounded in 2023. Call it confidence and trust that the Fed was going to do the Fed put, bail out the industry, call it whatever you want. We had a warning in 2022. That was the fastest price decline in history. The reason why it's not talked about, two reasons. Number one, we still ended the year up. It wasn't until the first week or second week of February that we actually tracked year over year decline. So number one, we ended up. So even though we had that fastest price decline, we still ended up because the year started out with a massive increase in equity. But the other thing, Daniel, is a lot of people, and I know a lot of you guys like, Clear Tax, that Clear Tax guy, but a lot of people, were just saying that it's just seasonality. And so, that combined with that final number of positive year over year, I think it's really blindsiding people as to what's going on, and or what's happening is everyone is gambling and betting on that Fed put. So, and another thing, remember, I believe we're going to go under this orange line. All right. And I
Can I butt
also
in
want
real
to
quick?
remind the viewers, yeah, one last second, and I'm going to give it to you. The last thing I want to remind you guys is in 2022, the trajectory was actually like this. Okay. And then it followed down. The trajectory was way up here. They revised the data downward. Remember that. So again, in 2022, according to this data, and what I'm trying to point out is it's very likely that in 2024 we will have a nominal price decline. I'll go over some leading indicators here in a second, but do you want to talk on this?
Yeah, so there are two things. So I wanted to backtrack a little bit with Hui Wen saying that
Okay.
it hasn't crashed in 3 years. And you were correct. It hasn't crashed in the past 3 years. But
Austin.
there are rotations. There are rotations in which our markets, our policies, government intervention. At what point do we turn a blind eye to things like that? At what point do we turn a blind eye to the money that's being invested? Now, we can, and you're right. We are guessing, and we are not. We're guessing based on data, though. Now, it's guessing, but it's also looking at the pattern. What are we seeing? What does the data show? What are the historical norms? Look, our inflation is absolutely insane. Affordability is at an all-time low. Travis talked about the PE ratio. So let's talk about consumerism a little bit while we're at it too, because yeah, the numbers show a little bit, but why hasn't the crash started in the past 3 years? We have inflation. We have all-time high home values, which people can't afford, by the way. In my market, rent continues to increase. And California has a renter's cap law. And if I could be wrong, I didn't look up the data before I came on here, but I believe it's capped at 5% annually. And as long as you're in the same lease, obviously, if you break the lease, you can put whatever price you want. But if you're locked into a lease, it's 5% annually, I believe. Don't quote me on that. So you're correct. A crash has not happened in the last 3 years, but I would not look at the future, and I would not look at the future and go, hey, it's not going to crash. Because if you look at the numbers and you look at the data and you look at what Travis is pointing out right now, as far as where we are, look, it's screaming right now. Have you ever driven down a hill that's a high incline and the hill is too long and your brakes are heating up and you're going, oh boy, I got to downshift. I've got to downshift because I'm going to burn up my brakes. That's where I feel like we're at. We're at the midway down that slope, and we are screaming, and our brakes are smoking. We're going, and the government's going, how can we hold this off? How can we hold this off a little bit longer? Real estate market is screaming, hey, what is it we can do to keep this thing afloat? Because, and I can't blame them. Guess what? If my income relied on it, I'm doing that too. If my family needs the money, and Jeff, you're right. The deficit spending will not stop, right? Recessions look a lot different when you are printed CARES 2.0 every 100. I'm not sure what that means.
I mean,
but you're
to
right.
me though,
we're
it could be
money.
Daniel.
We're
Daniel, it
printing
could be
money
worse.
and we're spending money.
I mean, it could be worse, not better. So I understand, I mean, to their point, the deficit spending has definitely propped it up. You go back to mortgage-backed security holdings and mortgage-backed security purchasing. I mean, you can make an argument actually that we've been into stress since 2012. In 2012, they accelerated quantitative easing again. We go back, we look at these things. I mean, to me, there's absolutely zero question that they are propping up the housing market. From any type of mathematical standpoint, PE ratio, payment to income ratio. The question is whether or not the government can keep it propped up for much longer. And again,
inflation is transitory.
But here's the thing, though, brother. It gets emotional when you say this time it's different. The people that are saying recession, housing market crash, we're just going off the data. It's in fact, we're not really guessing. to be honest with you, we got the 10-2, the deficit spending, the government jobs. We have the unemployment rate going up. I mean, these are things that are not emotional, actually. These things are facts. The only emotional thing is it's not going to crash, because it would make it the first time in history with all of these flashing indicators that it does not crash. And why is that important? Why is a recession important to the housing market, Daniel?
We need a price reset.
Well, how would a recession help that?
Well, a recession is going to help because people are going to look. Recessions are horrible because recessions mean job layoffs. Recessions mean families are damaged. This means people's reputations are on the line. But I do want to hit on Jeff's point real quick before we move on. But because he's right. Government intervention is printing money, right? We are printing money and the spending continues. You're correct. Inflation is at an all-time high. People continue to spend. So the question we have to ask ourselves, and the question everybody needs to ask themselves, and I regularly come back to this: why? Why? Is it a status? Why did you buy a Tesla Cybertruck? Is it because it's this amazing truck? Look, if I want an amazing truck, I'm not spending $100,000 on an electric truck that I have to sit 30 minutes and charge. I'm buying a truck that I can go out and I can off-road and I can have a great time and I can go take out on the dunes with the buddies and have a good time. Load the dog up, and I'm getting the sun in my face all of a sudden. Fog's breaking up. But to your point, Jeff, you're right. People keep spending. And I would say it's actually a lack of self-control. And this is one of the things that Travis likes to hit on a lot. Can you have patience? Can you have self-control? Can you build your worth? See how we came around circle there? If it all comes back to, can you budget? Can you live affordably and still have a good life? Do you have to go on that vacation? Or are you hurting? Or are you doing a PM, what is it? Buy now, pay later, BNPL.
Yeah.
Are you having to take a BNPL in order to be able to afford your livelihood? Look, I'm not bagging on the people who are having to do BNPL. That sucks.
Why? Yeah.
That sucks. To not be able to afford the things you want sucks. But guess what? I'm out here if I just worked on my budget last night. Raymond and I have talked about this. He's like, dude, I do my budget all the time. I'm like, dude, I haven't done a budget in 7 years.
Raymond's always bragging about how his budget's so low. I love when he brags about that, man. I love it because we never see him even having fun. Poor Raymond. Raymond's always working. He's always working on a house. He's always like, I want this. I'm gonna work hard. I feel like it.
Don't let Raymond sway you. Look at him enjoying his bike rides. That dude's getting ripped. He's changing his diet. He's gonna get all the ladies here in the next 6 months. You watch. Ladies, watch out.
Love him. He's a good guy, man. I wish he was more confident in himself. I hate it. I had to tell him the other day. I was like, stop bagging on yourself, man. I'm like, you're hurting my feelings. Because I respect you. I look up to you. So every time you knock yourself, I feel like you're knocking me. So stop. And I know, we should all do. Oh, Jason's on too. We got Economic Ninja on. We got Jason on. Jeff and Economic Ninja are talking. I don't know, Jeff, you better be nice. But let me ask you this question, Daniel, for the sake of time. Let me know how much time you have. Okay. I'm kind of veering off of my subject because you have some really amazing insights. I feel like it's very genuine what you're saying. Do you think one of the reasons why we potentially could have a flash crash, if you will, or a massive price decline is because, we just have such a low transaction volume right now that it's almost impossible nationwide, almost impossible to have price decline because there's a lack of transactions. And this is what I mean by lack of transactions. We're back to like the 80s in volume, but we have nearly double the population. So really the transactions are way, way lower when we compare those things. So I kind of, I think that's one of the factors on why we're not seeing the median go down and why we can sometimes only see price decline when we do subdivision comp analysis, right? Subdivision comp analysis. I think it's low transaction volume is one, man. I don't think that in some metros they have the opportunity to have price discovery because with that almost historically low volume, there's just enough demand. There's just enough desperation still. There's just enough consumers that still have money. There's just enough consumers that still have a good paying job. There is just enough to keep the show going. What do you think of that?
I think there's some truth to that. I think a lot of it, quite honestly, and you've talked about this before, is back to that status, right? Do you have FOMO? Why? Is it because you want the home, you want the middle American dream? The question I ask is it going to be worth it in the next 5 years, right? Is your home value going to be worth what it was today as it is going to be 5 years from now? Now, that's a really hard predictor and a really hard question to answer, right? However, what we can do now is we can look at today. We can look at today. What does today show us? So I saw Jason Walters. He's in Sacramento area. So his market's going to be a little bit different than mine. I can tell you in my market, we have a lot of people who are wanting to buy short-term rentals. We have a lot of people who are wanting to buy midterm rentals are a big thing now. Midterm rentals, meaning you are renting out properties to traveling nurses, insurance companies who need it for damaged homes, who put you in a house temporarily, months at a time. So 3 to 4 months, sometimes 6 months, depending on the rent negotiation. Our market's unique. So when you look at the market, break it down individually. What are the highlights of your market? How do properties typically sell? And this is something that both Jason Walters and Travis talk about, right? Break down the market for what your market's worth. Now, I can tell you, looking at my market is probably median house price, I'd say, is probably $980 right now. I'd be curious. I haven't looked at the numbers in a while, but I'd say anywhere from $980 to $1.2 million. It's expensive. I can't afford to buy. So my mindset is, here's the thing. I'm watching those houses that are priced. Days on the market are starting to increase. The data shows that. Price drops are more than ever. There are not as many buyers out there right now. Why aren't there as many buyers right now? Ask the question why, right? What do I keep saying? Ask why. Follow the data. Follow the numbers. If you ask why, you're going to go, well, it's unaffordable. People cannot afford it. Layoffs are increasing. The job data is not fully there and it's not fully transparent. So how are we supposed to look at job data that continually changes? And we're not supposedly in a recession because the definition has been changed, but let's look at just the data for what it is, and then follow your housing market. Follow your local housing market. Don't follow what Nashville's doing. Don't follow what Dallas is doing. Don't follow, in my case, I have to go, what is San Luis Obispo doing? What is the San Luis Obispo market doing? That's what I have to look at. That's what I have to realize. And it's hard sometimes. It's so hard to have to sit down and put the emotion aside, right? Because you want to be in a home. You want to be in a home. That's the realistic thought process behind it. You want a home that you're going to be in for the next 20 years and create a family and create some wealth and create some stability in your life.
That's not 40% of the transactions that are going to investors.
Well, and a big problem is international investors that are buying all cash.
I got data on, and you know what? I got data on that, man. 45% of those foreign investment transactions, they don't even live in the house. So they're investing in our freaking housing market. Let me ask you this, because you don't have that much time. I've been keeping my eyes on the clock for you. I got a question. I really want your help answering this, because I fall victim to this myself because I'm a normal human being, and I feel and I have a heart. And can you go into the emotional aspect of waiting? Can you go into the emotional aspect, Daniel, of what it's like to want to move on with our lives and invest in our primary residence and not being able to? And can you just explain to the viewers maybe your struggles, and also what do you do? Because I feel like sometimes it's like this whole world against us almost. Maybe it's just a feeling of mine. But can you also talk about what you do to get yourself out of that funk and back on track? Are you never in a funk?
Oh no, I hit my funk, man. Like,
You
I
hit
hit
some,
my
yeah,
phone. It stinks. I mean,
yeah.
woo, stinky.
Woo, I
Like,
could smell it from this. I could smell it from the computer screen, bro. It's pretty sharp. I can see
hey,
the
you know what?
wall
You know what?
chip
Opinions
paint.
are like buttholes. Everyone has one, and they all stink.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah. So here's the thing.
But
But
talk, yeah,
with that being said, yeah, there's a lot of emotion involved, right? When we talk
right.
about this from time to time, emotion is involved in buying a home, whether you like it or not. Especially if you have a family, especially if you have a wife, especially if you're asking yourself, does real estate only go up? Because if real estate only goes up, the unaffordability is going to be unbelievable. But
Yeah,
we're not seeing that, right? So what I have to continually do is I have to go and sit down and look, whether you're Christian, Buddhist, Islamic, pagan, you believe in doing yoga, whatever it is, right? For me, it's sitting down in the morning and asking God, God, please help me be patient. Please help me follow what's happening in today's world. Please don't allow me to be discouraged. Please allow me to be an example for those around me. Please give me humility. And please continue to give me the passion to be able to invest my money wisely so that I can build my worth and set my son up for a great, successful future. Budget
so
your
you're
numbers.
lifting it up.
Sit
I
down,
mean, so you're
budget
praying.
your numbers.
You're okay. So, but
See
going
where
back
you're
for
at.
a second, but
Yeah,
going back, man, the numbers are simple math. We literally just need to stop and do the numbers. But I'm more interested in what you just said. So what you just said is you're not holding on. Well, you're trying to do the best you can not to hold on to the stress, uncertainty, and anxiety. And through your prayer, you're trying to take that feelings of uncertainty, anxiety, and you're trying to give it to God. Is that what you're saying?
absolutely. Now,
Okay.
here's the thing. I still get discouraged. I
Yes.
still
Yes, of
get
course.
discouraged. Look, like I said, I'm going through a divorce. My wife left me. I gave it everything I had. Right? I have a beautiful son on the other side of that, though. Look at the positive. Look at the positive. Are you going to be optimistic on your outlook? Look, you can be optimistic and not be blind. Be optimistic and look at the numbers. Be optimistic and look how many days on the market has this property been there? Hey, this property's been on the market for 30 plus days. It's dropped in price, $100,000. Go make an offer. See what happens. Get pre-qualified. See what your value is. Do not take your pre-qual number and think that's an affordability number, because let me tell you, I cannot afford what I'm pre-qualified for.
Did you take the course?
You know what? I did. And I thought it was great. I did not know what the definition of wedge was,
Okay.
but I've always looked at those numbers. I didn't realize that that's what it's called. I didn't realize. So one of the big things for me is I'm looking at a property now. I've been digging. The guys in the Discord know, or I say guys, but guys and gals. Sorry, Christy.
Nikki as well.
And Nikki. We have a large group there. So here's the thing. Look at the property, look at the value. What can you afford? Is it a slap in the face to the realtor if you can't afford their number? Yeah, it might be. But put in the offer. It's not going to hurt anybody. If they don't like your offer, they just won't respond. Big deal. Nobody's hurt by it. Nobody's bothered by it. And in reality, if it sits on the market for 30 days, guess who might be calling you back?
Them.
Well, yeah. So the thing is just, and I'm going to go back to this.
Wait, I got to warn you. It's 9:57 Central. Are you still good?
I'm good. I can be a few minutes late. It's helping for setup. So I will
Setup
be there
important?
shortly. What's that?
Isn't setup a pretty important part?
It is.
All right.
It doesn't take very long though. So I
just
will
want
be
to take another couple minutes, man. You know, just finish up, knowing that you're late, and just whatever you want to say, man. Come from your heart. And then I'll finish up this video. But just whatever you got to say, bro. Just talk to the people about what. There's a lot of people that are suffering. There's a lot of people that are losing confidence. There's a lot of people losing trust in themselves, and that's the last place you want to lose trust in confidence in. Just go from your heart, man.
Over the last 3 years, my confidence and my self-worth have felt to be at an all-time low. Okay. I have a hard time not getting emotional about it. But what I can say is it's okay to seek inward and go, hey, I'm not good at these things. Who can I reach out to? You know, and in the fire service, we refer to our fire engine and our knowledge as a toolbox. So reach into your toolbox. What can you find? Who do you have around you that, look, when we talk about assets, we don't just talk about money. Assets can be people. What is their knowledge? What is their worth? What do they bring to your life? Are they a positive influence on your life? Do you have people who are talking to you about real true numbers? Because look, I have friends, we do not see eye to eye on politics, and it doesn't matter. We are positive. We look at the numbers, we sit down and we go, dude, what is going on? What is going on with this market? People like me can't afford a home.
Yeah.
I have a good paying job with good benefits. And yeah, I'm putting away money like a madman. What I can say is sit down, find out your value, because I can sit down and I can say, look, I know that I'm passionate. I know that, look, my empathy can be lacking at times. And I think that probably comes a little bit with the career and what I've seen. But
yeah,
I would say find out what your strengths are. Find out what your weaknesses are. Sit down with the numbers. What can you afford? Budget, rebudget, and rebudget again. Because if you can put away more money, build your self-worth, build your value, put it in a high yield savings, become a bank. Look, I didn't ever think I'd be telling you, hey, I'm kind of becoming a bank.
That's
but guess
crazy.
what? I don't take that money and I don't reinvest it in 50 failing stocks like NVIDIA, which is starting to take a hit. So let's talk about where look, I don't know anything about the stock market. Disclosure, okay? That's just my opinion. I'm seeing what the numbers are showing. People are struggling. If you go out on the street and you talk to people, people are not doing amazing. It's hard. Inflation has gone through the roof. Have you tried looking at a car recently? Boy. So go back to you. Go back to your family. Look at what you have. Be thankful. If I can tell you one thing, it's be thankful. I am thankful for a roof over my head. Am I thankful I have to rent? Not really, but I'm thankful for a place. I'm thankful for a place that I can provide for myself and my son and provide a healthy environment that is full of love, that is full of caring, that is full of honesty and transparency, and being patient and kind and not being self-seeking and going, hey, look, am I allowed to swear?
Nah.
All right. So there's some bullcrap going on in the market. So sit down with yourself and ask why. How many times have I said that during this video? Ask yourself why.
Well, not enough, brother. Not enough. Not enough.
Now, I know it's not always being positive, right? It's not always trying to have some optimism. It's difficult. It's challenging. None of us are perfect. We'll never be perfect. We're going to have shortcomings. We're going to have failures. Look, 2008 was full of a lot of failures. I think we're going to move back in that direction again, unfortunately. And it's people who have extended themselves too far. That Burr method sounded really good at 2% interest. So why doesn't it work now? Because values are not where they were now. Days on the market are not what they were now. Home prices are not what they were now. Do you see a common theme here? Price cuts are at an all-time high. Buyers not entering the market. Why? Because the value's not there. People are not confident. This is a struggling market. Struggling. And like I said before, I really genuinely feel like our brakes are smoking.
Well
So,
said. Well said.
if,
Bro, I'm so proud of you, Daniel. I'm so proud of you, bro. It's not easy. You're getting a lot of love too in the comment section. Jeff's giving you props. I mean, dude, very valuable, very powerful words. Takes a lot of courage to do that, man, to open up like that. And dude, you guys, to the viewers that are watching, you guys see why I'm always talking about community. You always see why I'm bragging about it. Look at Daniel. Daniel, people would say, you're just a doomer. You're just saying what you're saying for views. Wait a minute. Do you have a YouTube channel?
not yet.
Huh. Then you must be saying it for another reason. Is that reason because you believe it?
I believe it, but it's hard to believe it sometimes. And that's back to where
Why?
that emotion comes in, right? Because your emotion gets involved.
Mm-hmm.
We all have
Mm-hmm.
emotion. We all have ups and downs. We all get discouraged. Just sit back, follow the data, see where it puts you.
Man, brother, my gosh. I didn't expect all that, Daniel. To the viewers, comment below, give this man some love. I didn't expect all that, Daniel. Daniel, I've only talked, a text, and bro, oh my gosh, man. I feel like you're a brother. Like you're part of my family. Dude, just well done, man. And I just want to say this last thing, and I want to get you out of here because you will be late. You're already late. You should be 100% proud of yourself. I hope your children look back on this one day. You didn't say one bad thing about your ex. You didn't come in here blaming, pointing the finger at nobody. Daniel, you came in unselfish. You came in fully transparent, talking from your heart. That's rare, and in my opinion, that is a unreplaceable asset to a community. So don't go nowhere, man. And we need you, and we need you to do well. So I love you, man. You got to get out of here to church, though, man. You got to set up.
You
You
too, brother.
prayed,
Are
or
we
what?
are we are we ending this?
Well, I mean,
Are we
it's up
doing?
to you. I still got to go over all this data right here. I didn't want to interrupt you, man. I didn't want to interrupt you. Even though I know the title, we want to go right into the home prices falling, but I really feel like the transparency of the community is so important to any channel, any content creator, because that's what impact a content creator is having on people. And so I just wanted you to talk, man. And honestly, I mean, I almost started crying, bro. Like you got me emotional. I'm not even joking. I've been going through a lot of crap, man. I'm an emotional mess. Sometimes I got
I'm
to pray
sorry to
like
hear about your
crazy.
cat, man. That's so hard having
Yeah,
animals that
yeah.
are
So,
just to have. Guys,
yeah,
give Travis some love. This guy has a cat that's coughing up blood. Sounds like grandma's been smoking 80 packs of cigarettes. Kidney failure, right?
yes, because
Renal
what
failure.
happened was we left because a hurricane, knocked everything out. Somehow the cat got locked in the closet. And there's one thing left. It just was downhill from there. So it's just you just move on, man. Yesterday I was a mess, bro. I was like really surprised how much that gutted me, and I think it was more about like what I went through in life because I mean I had that cat. It's just a stupid cat, right? But it wasn't to me. It's just I knew this cat for 11 years, right? So I went through the worst of the things in my life, and like that cat was like this was the only thing in my life that I loved at the time, right? Because I was so emotional. I had so much depression and anxiety from losing everything, losing my house, losing my career, going bankrupt, having the repo, and then having the IRS come after me for 9 years. So yeah, I mean, it hurt a little bit, but you know what, man? I mean, like you said, you pray. I lean on you guys as a community. You guys were talking to me. I mean, I don't want to live this life alone. I don't want to fight alone. And to me, I mean, and that's another reason why I love the community, man. I mean, you guys help me fight, and I cannot do this alone. It's too much. They outnumber us. They outnumber us, bro. And we're fighting for people that don't want us to fight for them. We're fighting for people that don't realize the fight that's going on. So it's very, very hard. And it takes and that's why I want to keep you close. That's why I think, when we can grow together like this, if we're truly improving, we got to stay close, man. I mean, we really do. Even the thing that sucks though, Daniel, is when someone buys a house, I don't want them to disappear. Minus Jeff, minus Tom. And so, like, just because we had a couple members buy a house, and don't worry, every single freaking member that bought a house, I was in the PMs. I was texting them directly. making sure, are you sure you want to do this, right? But you know, all I'm saying, man, is I really appreciate you. That's it. And you know what? And this I'm just gonna say it. So look at the deep here. Stop telling people you love them. I love you, bro. I'm gonna keep saying I love you because I do love you. And the world's full of hate, toxicity, fraud, corruption. So kick rocks, deep. I
Well,
don't
and
care
hey,
if
look, I
I
said
don't.
I
Well,
love the haters,
one thing,
right?
Daniel. One thing. I don't care if you think I'm being disingenuous. And the reason I don't care is because I'm not. And your opinion is wrong, Deep. And I love you, Deep. All right. I hope you do better. I hope you could trust people. I hope you learn what a community is. What were you gonna say?
Here's what I can say. Can love come off as disingenuous? You bet your bottom it can.
Real
But
love? Okay.
no, well, so there are different types of love, and I'm not going to get into the the multiple different types of love and what those mean, and that's for a different day. But what I can tell you is love is unconditional. All right. Hey, if we can go to scripture, 1 Corinthians 13 is pretty spot on. I mean, love is patient, love is kind, it is not self-seeking, it does not boast, it sees no record of wrongs, right? But we all fail.
Okay.
We all
Yes.
fail. So if you can
Yes.
realize the fact that, hey, look, I have some shortcomings, I'm not perfect. Do I love everybody all the time? No, dude. I get angry. Go go ask Charles. I was an angry man the other day. I'm not going to tell you why. I'm sure most of you could guess why. I blew up. But here's the thing. Can you sit back, be able to, you know what? I love Bill Burr. Bill Burr talks about this and he goes, look, as a man, you just push the emotion down. You compact it and you go, I'm a man, right? So
I don't
sometimes
agree
you
with
have
that.
to push that emotion down. You have to sit down, be realistic with yourself and go, look, it's really easy to be angry. Can you sit back, take a few really deep breaths and go, hey, I know I need to be the love for somebody that I didn't have. Can you do that? Because the
I
reality
can
is
do that. Yeah,
someone's
and I do.
someone's going through an absolute shitstorm right now.
I mean, brother, I'm
I
going to
don't know
tell you,
who.
I can. Daniel, you and I both can do that. And part of the reason is because we have, and I don't want to go too much because we got to keep this about real estate, but our failures, bro, our failures. When I was in the ditches crawling my way out of the gutter, there was nobody there for me except God. I wasn't even there for me. I wasn't even there for me. There was no one there for me. So because I went through that pain and that suffering, and I was like, man, if only I had some help, I see it in other people now. And it hurts me. And that's why I say I love, I mean, dude, I mean, I feel like when you lose everything, there's two things that happen. Either you get even worse and you want to take over the world even more and you cheat, you rob, you steal, you fraud, you all these things, or you start getting more compassionate, sympathetic, and showing empathy. And I chose empathy. I learned through losing everything. And dude, I was 22 years old making $400,000 a year. So I was a beast ASS hustler. But during the transition out of the gutter back into life, I made a decision to like, dude, you know, I made a decision to go back to my roots, go back to what my mom and my dad taught me, my ethics, my morals, God, pray, and I chose to like, I love relationships. I love helping people. I need to make money, man. I need to make money. I have a family, but if I can put myself in a situation to where I can actually truly love people because of my past and show empathy and compassion and sympathy, I think that's the winning solution to citizen consumers, people that are watching on YouTube trying to figure out what's going on. I mean, the transparency is key, right? Let's be transparent. Let's provide data. I know my opinion, Daniel. I get a little firm in it. I get a little passionate because I believe, but I make this clear. I believe there's a storm coming. And when there's a storm coming, I mean, quite frankly, you don't whisper in the corner, there's a tornado coming. You freaking get on the intercom. You go like, hey, everyone, there's a tornado coming. It might not hit you, but if you're in a mobile home park, it's 100% going to hit you. So prepare. How do you prepare? You do something about it, right? Okay, what's the risk? How do I get around the risk? So I feel like I'm withholding you from your community, bro. It's 12 after, bro.
Yeah, I got to get going. So you mind if I close out real quick with something?
Yeah.
I keep coming back to that comment a little bit about
3
love.
years? Okay.
Love is about finding your self-worth, finding your self-value. Where can you excel? Look, let's bring this back around to real estate, right? Because this is what this channel is about. It's about looking at the real estate, looking at the numbers, and finding out where we're going, right? So let's do that real quick. If you can find, and let's bring those two together. If you can find your self-worth, where your value is, what you're good at, can you be able to sit down at those numbers, budget, find out where your value is, what you can afford realistically, and still have money to enjoy the things that you love, and be able to look at today's market and the inflation and go, how much money can I set aside and how quickly can I do it? And where will my self-worth be in the next year? If the market changes, where prices continue to fall and days on the market continue to increase and people continue to list their properties and unemployment continues to increase, look, there's going to be change. If that continues to happen and we don't have government intervention. The numbers are showing that it's changing. So follow the numbers, follow the data. Yeah, you're right. My words can be empty. So don't take my word for it. Go out there and look at the data. Travis is going to go through you. That's weird. No, he's not. He's going to go through the numbers and the data with you because he wants you to see the same data that he's looking at and realizing, hey, there's not a full transparency going on here. So let's ask why. Let's ask why. Is it because they need the market to change? Yeah, of course it is. It's all about the money. Politics, home ownership. Look, I'm going to leave you with really quick bullet points.
Okay.
Find your self-worth. What is your value? Can you love yourself? Can you love the people around you? Rebudget. Find your price. If you can do those things, then you do you. Look, if you're buying your third piece of property, if you're buying your first piece of property, awesome. But that's because you did the work. You found your number. You found what you can afford. Don't buy because you're missing out, because you have a FOMO of being outside of the market. Buy because you can afford it. I don't care if you're in this market. You can find affordability. I'm going to put an offer in on a house that's not even on the market. I'm going to be writing a letter here and putting it on a front door. We'll see what happens. I will let the Discord group know what happens.
Yeah,
I'm going to write from the heart. Do love letters work? I would argue, no, not right now. Not in today's market. It's all about the numbers. But yeah, I can try.
But yeah, it worked for Jeff because he tried.
For Jeff.
And he reported back. Get out of here, man. All right, get out of here.
I gotta go.
And I'll recap everything you're saying. All right. Hey, man, great work today.
Thanks, man. It's great being a part of the group. It's great being a part of the Discord. If you're watching this YouTube, look, like Travis always says, if you're investing in real estate, I hope you will. And I hope you win. Look, reality is, down in the heart, if you're investing in real estate, I hope you lose because I need to buy. But I don't want anybody to fail. Right? The truth of the matter is, I do want you to succeed. So love yourself, love each other, go on with your day, enjoy your weekend, enjoy your Sunday, enjoy your families. Don't sit your butt on YouTube all day. Go for a hike, go for a run, go for a bike ride. And it's good talking to you, Travis.
Love you, man. Oh,
you too, brother.
I'm not supposed to say that. I'm sorry.
You're not supposed to say love.
I'm not supposed to say love.
I hate you. I'll talk to you later.
I hate you too. I'll see you, bro. I'll see you.
All right. Bye.
Bye, man. Oh man, that made me so proud of him, of our community, guys. Geez Louise. I love him, love him. So we're gonna get started. I'm gonna jump back in. It's kind of a hard act to follow, but I'm gonna jump back into this real quick here, and we're gonna finish out this report. And I want to make a note real quick. Let's write down this date right here, July 14th. Okay. And I'm going to try to figure out a way to get this on my studio wall behind us. I want us to remember July 14th because this is what I'm saying. Okay. Specifically, this is the start. Technically, we need like 2 more weeks. So it may be like, maybe next week or week after. But regardless, what I'm saying, what I'm guessing, what I'm estimating based on data is from now. Okay. This is from July 14th on. Home prices will continue to go down. And remember this as well, you guys. So we had an $1,100 week over week price decline from median, and that's with the upper end of median manipulating the trajectory. Because remember, and what I mean by that, the upper end of the median is growing. More sales transactions, the lower end of the median is not. But also remember this, every single thing that we are going over in this data right now is macro data. It is not micro data. The only way really to get micro data, you got to go deep in subdivision or neighborhood. So remember that, guys. But regardless, I'm going to write down July 14th. And now what the question is going to be is, will we have a price decline that beats 2022? And remember, here it is. This was the fastest. I'm going to circle it. This was the fastest price decline in history. This price decline that I circled from 2022, middle of 2022 to the end of 2022 into beginning of February, fastest price decline, guys. It was the fastest price decline. And remember, in 2022, we started up here because they had median at 400K. They revised that downward. You guys. And so again, I'm saying July 14th. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. People are always like, Travis, you got to tell us when, who, what, why, where, which is incredibly difficult to guesstimate, especially because all of this data is BS. But regardless, I'm going to do it. I'm saying July 14th, okay, according to the 4-week rolling average, we will have price decline for the remaining part of this year. And more than likely, you guys, it's going to accelerate in 2025. I do not believe that 2025 we will have enough seasonality or enough buyers to prop it up like 2023. I don't think so. The reason I don't think that is because the consumer is in worse shape. At least I'm in worse shape. But from the data, consumers are in worse shape. Let's keep going, you guys, and I appreciate you sticking with me so long. Let's look at median asking price. We have median asking price falling. Now, it's the really interesting thing about the median asking price is it's there's a huge gap, unlike normal. So there's been a huge gap here. Median asking price, again, has been going down for about 2 months. But again, we have not seen that in median sales price if you look from here to here. Okay. And one of those reasons is, again, because the upper end of the median. Okay. These are facts. Again, this is not something we have to guess on. What I'm saying right now is facts. The only thing that I am guessing on with what I just said to you is July 14th. That's it. But what I'm doing, I'm stepping up. I'm saying, here's the date, July 14th. It's down from here. Obviously, there's an election, so that's kind of scary. But look at this, guys. Home buying payments. This is home buying housing payments. We're still elevated, massively elevated, sitting at a year-over-year increase of 6.1%. This is why the housing market, the prices are not sustainable, in my opinion. All right? Everything, I want to say it's my opinion, but it's really not my opinion. When you go back and look at sustainability, when you look at how important income growth is to matching price growth, I'm not even guessing. It's like point blank, this is going to happen. The housing market's going to crash. When we look at the fluctuations of the income prices, the same thing happens. I showed you guys the 5-year, I showed you guys the decade income comparison to price growth, and the same thing happens when it gets out of whack. It adjusts, it crashes, it goes down, depending on how out of whack it is. At least in the U.S. Okay, I understand China, I understand all these other places, but I'm talking about the U.S. here, guys. And the thing is we would have to make what? What is it now? What do we have to make? 60% more income? The thing is, guys, is, and this is why I like Logan. And by the way, I appreciate Logan coming on our channel, but this is what drives me crazy about Logan. He's gambling on we're going to make 60% more income. When the Fed, okay, is doing QT. How can we have, this is the bull's argument. You guys, how can we possibly have a 60% income growth when the Fed is doing quantitative tightening, and we started off 2020, 2021, and 2022 with negative real income growth? To me, and they're telling us we got to watch out for the wage price spiral, which means we can't let people make too much money. So how the heck are people gambling on that 60% income? Now, another option is, say, interest rates go down to 3%, mortgage rates. Okay. Now, here's what's going to happen. It just, if they went down, say, for an example, like to 3% today, you're going to have, it's very interesting. Here's what I want to say. The more time goes by, and the more we have active inventory, the more unemployment, the more these types of things, it's not going to matter as much when interest rates go down. Okay. But here's the issue. If they drop interest rates, say last year, I mean, honestly, even if they drop interest rates to 3% right now, I think we will have an explosion of inventory. And if that 3% drop is accompanied with unemployment, I think we have a crisis. I don't think there's enough demand to handle that golden handcuff effect. But regardless, let's take the bull's argument. If we go down to 3%, what happens to prices? Okay, what happens to prices, guys? They go up. But we're already in a bubble. So if rates go down to 3% and there's an and, prices go up, making the bubble worse, we will eliminate this option completely. We will be stuck in a situation to where even with 3% mortgage rates, we still have out of control PE ratio, payment to income ratio, consumer debt skyrocketing, delinquency skyrocketing. If they do that too soon, they will eliminate that from our options. Okay, which brings us to the next thing. Prices have to go down. I believe it's roughly 35% prices. All right. Now, in my opinion, guys, the most probable outcome is here. I went back and I have found 5 different situations where home prices crashed on an, I'm sorry, I found 4 situations where home prices crashed on a nationwide average, but 5 scenarios where home prices went down on a nationwide average, which is the 1990s, early 1990s through recession. I don't know why more people can't talk about what I just circled there. We have historical precedents that says, again, income needs to match price to keep this simple. Come on, man. I mean, seriously, you guys really think it's income? They're doing quantitative tightening. You really think they're going to drop rates to 3%? You guys really think that? Or do you think that they're going to allow prices to continue to drop? And here's the other thing. Let me ask you guys, let me tell you this. If you've owned a home since, say, 2017, 2018, so I owned a home I purchased in 2018. I still own this home. I'm an accidental landlord. I still own it. And I have $150,000-ish in equity. I'm okay with losing it. I'm okay with losing half of the equity right now. And comment below if you're okay with that. I'm okay with losing $75,000 in my equity. That will benefit me because I don't want to sell my house. I don't want to cash out refinance. I don't want to touch it. I want to just leave it alone. It's a super low interest rate, all that. I have the option to be able to lose half of my equity and still be okay. And I believe that there are millions of Americans, especially if you paid it free and clear and don't want to sell your house. I honestly think that there are millions of Americans that would honestly prefer their house value to go down so that their property taxes and homeowners insurance goes down with it. Here's the scary part. States are failing even at elevated home prices. And I say that because they're taxing us. So what happens though when the revenue from the state gets chopped by 30%? Scary, scary, guys. Think about that. Well, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. More government bailouts, what's going to happen. Now, pending sales, people thought I was crazy, you guys. I made an estimate with Jason Walter. I don't know if he's on. Thank you guys so much. I love you, Johnny. Oh my God, I just said I love you. I'm so sorry for that, but I do. So I went on Jason I went out to Sacramento with Johnny. Johnny did the interview. He's on the comment section. Here's Johnny right here. You guys, he's got a really cool hat company. I mean, I'm proud of you, Johnny. I know a lot of you guys think he's just a troll, but he's not just a troll. He is a troll, but he's not just a troll. He's a good guy, man. Go check his company out. I love him. People thought I was crazy because I was like, we're going to have less than 4 million sales this year. And Jason, I don't know if you're on, Jason, but Jason was like, really? Like, we already had like back to the 1990s. I'm like, yeah, man, it's going to be worse than this year. Why would it get better? Right? Why would it get better? So I think we're going to end around 3.5 million sales of existing. That's just existing, which is really crazy, you guys. And that's what I was trying to tell Daniel, is that we really can't find our prices and we really can't have price correction because we don't have enough transactions to tell us what prices should be. The transactions are like back 80s and 70s, but the problem with comparing this to the 70s and 80s is the population was just so much lower. And so when we equate the population into things, it's actually, I don't know, when was the last time we had this low volume? The Great Depression? When we take into account the population? I don't know. That would be interesting information, but let's keep going. Okay, here's what you guys got to be careful of. And I'm just giving you guys the data. I'm giving you guys my opinions. The golden handcuff effect. Handcuff. It is changing. It is changing, but it is still active as ever. And the data that you want to look at to say, is the golden handcuff effect, is it lightening up, is your new listings. It's not supply and it's not active listings. You got to look at new listings, and you got to look at new listings and compare it to historical standards. And by historical standards, you guys, there are millions of people still on the sidelines ready to sell. Jeff M, I think you agree with that, Jeff M. Let me know if you guys agree with that. But we see that in this new listing data. In fact, what will happen when those golden handcuff effects wear off, you're going to see new listings up here. You're going to see new listings way up there. So there's a massive gap between here and here. I'm guessing there's probably, it just depends, but I'm going to go about 2.5 million golden handcuff people that would sell their house right now if they could afford to. So I'm saying 2.5 million golden handcuff, but I'm also going to estimate there's roughly, when we look at new and existing, I'm going to say there's 10 million people at least that are upside down. And where do I get that data, guys? I think you guys should know. Where do I get that upside down number? People that purchased after 2022. Basically, people that purchased after quantitative tightening. If we look at the peak to peak comparison, depending on the data source, people are up in 2 years, $6,000. So everyone's celebrating the housing market, housing market, you're up $6,000 on average in 2 years. You can't even sell your house for profit. So be careful who you're listening to, is my point. This is an alternative, just consider what I'm saying, guys. All right. But that's what I look at now. Active listings is great. This is exactly where we wanted. Now, I wanted about 900K to 1 million, and we got it. We got it. We will have price decline. We will have price decline. I believe it will exceed 2022, the fastest price decline in history. This is insane, guys. This is so insane. I'm going to tell you guys how powerful this is. Now, I talked to you guys a lot about a seller's market, right, and a buyer's market. In order for the industry, which is full of foolish optimism, reckless data manipulation, the industry says that we need, 6 months for a buyer's market. But what I'm trying to tell you guys is that's not true. We do not need 6 months. Now, I like looking at supply because supply takes into consideration active inventory and demand. And that's why I like supply. Okay, so 6 months is normally a buyer's market. But I just want to remind you, pre-COVID, my pen turned off. Okay, 2019, it was 3.7 months. 2017, it was 3.7 months. What this shows us here, guys, is this shows us how divided the housing market really is. Because there are still some markets that are like, they're still super low inventory. And then there are some markets like Texas and in Florida that are freaking exploding, literally exploding in inventory. So not everyone, and this is my point, not everyone has 3.7 months, but on a nationwide average, we're at 3.6 and we're only 1 month shy from 2019 and 2017, guys. All right. That's a big deal. Why is that a big deal? Because all the people, how many conversations have we heard from the bulls about the laws of supply and demand? Well, guess what? That's shifting. Okay, so this is demand going down. Let's see if we have anything good here. This is also demand going down as well because the median sold is up. Demand going down as well. 4 years. So this is also 4-year low. I think all of those 4-year lows that we just passed. Yep, that's a 4-year high. So that's good. Let's see if this is also, I think this is, 4-year as well. You guys starting to see the cracks yet? Starting to see the cracks yet? I mean, this is starting to get easy, right? We need the party to get started. This pesky election. Take a look at this. Historic. This is one leading indicator. It's historic. Look at what happened in 2022. This is the fastest price decline in history right here. We're exceeding 2022 price drops. Here's the data, guys. You see it. We exceed 2022, higher than 2022. The price drops are, guys. I mean, the data's here. We don't have to guess. The data's here. Okay. Again, this is a demand is low. This is another 4-year low of demand. I mean, demand is crushed. We get it now. Here's their gauge of demand as well. They're saying that's down 15% year over year. Again, 4-year low for this time of year. You guys see my point here? So, July 14th, mark your calendars, watch the data. Even though they manipulate the data, even though we got to triangulate, even though this is all macro data, watch it. July 14th, let me know if you guys agree. Big shout out to the community. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this Sunday's live. And I have some special stuff planned for you guys. I'm still trying to catch up. People give me no sympathy. You guys want to know something? People are like, because I have this gaming chair that I've had for 3 years that cost under $100, that I'm not saving my money. Someone's like, you bought LED lights, you fool. You're not saving money. You're upper class. Someone saw my 4-foot, I don't even have the 70-inch, my 4-foot flat screen TV that is 9 years old. And so, Travis, you're a liar. You're middle class. I'm renting, man. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's just weird. I don't know. It's weird. Get rid of the bear. You guys want me to get rid of the bear? Let me know. You guys want me to get rid of this bear right here? Hey, I'm bearish. You know what? Someone made a comment on this bear as well. This bear is like 20 years old. When I was young, I wasn't a maniac, guys. I'm not going to lie. I was a maniac when I was young. You would not like me when I was young. I was just full of emotion, and I was just a young kid. I mean, my God, it was bad. Do you guys want me to get rid of that? Oh my gosh. So, dude, I don't even want to use this now. I saw Melody. I love Melody. I mean, I'm just going to let that one go. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I appreciate you. And keep the bear. All right, we got some bear. Bear is bad karma. Why is bear bad karma? Can anyone tell me why is the bear the bad karma? I need to know this. Is it bad karma? I don't know. I don't want it to be bad karma. It's just symbolic. Just want to let you guys know it's just symbolic. I'm just rambling, you guys. I love you. I will be back Tuesday morning live. Also Friday morning. Don't forget that Tuesday, Friday, 8:45 Central. I will be back to schedule. Just bear with me. I'm almost caught up. It is brutal out there. Also, my shark bite. I don't want to show you guys, but it's healing. I have no infection in my finger. This is really happening to me. Can someone pray for me? Anyways, guys, I love you. If you're out there investing in real estate, you guys already know I wish you luck. And I do hope you win. And the last thing, join the community. And don't forget, July 14th, 2024. Take care, guys.